The lawnmower.
Hello, we're gonna do a video about Cluedo. The best ever board game ever made about solving a mystery in a mansion. It's all about finding out and eliminating your enemies. If you like detective movies, then this is the right board game for you. Stay tuned how to play. Here we have the box, Cluedo Classic Mystery Game. Let's open it up. Here we have the items inside. I've already played it, so it might not look like this when you open it, but we're gonna first look at the board. It's a really big board, like Monopoly. See, we have everything on the board, including all the rooms, the middle where you start off, the question marks, which I'll explain later in the video. We have the dices, of course. The people. We got Mrs. White, Mr. Plum, Mr. Green, Mrs. Peacock or Peacock, Scarlet, and Mustard. Next we have the weapon models. We have the candlestick and the pistol, the wrench, the dagger, the lead pipe, and the rope. All little metal models. Like in Monopoly, they have character models made out of metal. We're now going to look at the cards, the mystery cards, the black ones, and the trapper cards, which is what you get when you land on the question mark. So we have the weapons, the characters, and the rooms, all individual cards, and you have to put them all in order to start the game, like I'm doing right now. And the trapper cards. These are always good cards. So let's look at them. Let's look at the people first. We have all of them for the different character models made of plastic. You can see their faces. Let's look at the weapons next. All the weapons for the different metal models. Tell you what these cards are used for later. And all the rooms as a card. All with different angles of the room. So let's put them all back together. Let's take a look, when I'm done, at the trapper cards. These are like in Monopoly, like chance and lucky cards, but they're always good. So to start the game, for 2 players, trapper cards go to hell. To start the game of Cluedo, you need to get the Cluedo envelope and take one from each weapon, room, and person. So shuffle each one individually and pick out one card. You're not allowed to look at this card, for example. It was done in the study, but no one knows that, of course. And you put it in the envelope and it stays there. No one looks at it. So how do you start a game of Cluedo? You have the 3 cards in your envelope and you put it at the end. No one looks at the cards inside, of course. And now, for 2 players, you put them all together and shuffle them, of course, with weapons, rooms, and people all together. If you're playing 2 players, you need to put 4 random cards without looking to the side. Now, you shuffle more if you want, and then you have to deal them to 2 players. This will be your evidence cards. You can only show them to yourself, not your opponent. Now, what is the sheet used for? By the way, pens are not included in Cluedo. Use your own. So you got the sheet. And these cards that you have, random cards that you don't, are your evidence cards. And you need them if you get accused. I'll tell you what that means in a second. The cards you have in that you got, you need to tick them in your evidence list, as you saw. So we have the lead pipe. We cross out lead pipe. And you do them for the rest of them. Mr. Green. Cross out Mr. Green. Cross out the wrench. The games room, the candlestick, the garage, and the bathroom. Now these can all be different, so don't just cross out the ones I just said. Cross out the ones you got by, I don't know, if your friend or your helper of the game. So cross out the cards you got. This is important to find out the mystery. When you're done, you put them all back, face them down, because you don't want your opponent looking at your evidence. Here goes to the next step. Your friend does the same thing with his or her cards. How do you actually set up Cluedo? Well, even if you're playing 2 players or less than 6 players, you need to put all of the character models in anyway. Then, get your dice. And your weapon models. When you've done that, and you've got everything crossed down, you are ready to go. Choose a character model. I choose the orange one, or the yellow one, mustard, and my opponent is Peacock, the blue one. Everything's crossed down of your evidence list with the cards, and you're ready to start. Roll the dice. I get a 10. So the best way, or the best strategy, is to go into a room or place to accuse someone. But the ways you can move anywhere, left, right, or center. You can either move 5 places. You don't have to do 10 exactly. But you can't move diagonally. Bad. So let's go to the courtyard. I do this because I don't have courtyard crossed on my list. Time to accuse people. I look at my cards. I analyze them, and I want to get more evidence to find out what happened. what could happen? So I should go to rooms that I don't have crossed on my evidence list. So let's accuse Plum. I don't have him crossed down on Plum. So put him where you are. And I don't have Dagger. I don't have the Dagger crossed off in my list. So I accuse the guy with the dagger as well. Now it's up to my opponent to give me evidence that Plum didn't do it, the courtyard wasn't the place, or the dagger was not the one that killed. As you can see, you only need to give one evidence. So my opponent has Plum as one of his cards. Meaning, I can cross something off in my list. So now cross Plum off your list. Because your opponent gave you evidence that Plum didn't do it. My opponent rolls a 6 and he goes into the games room. That's good. But I don't have those cards crossed. I don't have the games room, which is bad. But her turn, or his turn, hasn't done yet. She or he chose white. I don't have white and uses the pistol. I don't have the pistol. What happens now? I don't have white. I don't have the pistol. And I don't have the games room. What happens now? I can't show her anything. I don't have anything. So, she takes a random card from one of those 4. For example, I can't see it. So, she keeps it secret. She crosses down the pistol. So what are these mysterious 4 cards doing here? Well, when you accuse someone and they don't have evidence to show that they didn't do it, you may pick a random card. But you can only pick one random card at a time. Now how do you play 3-player or 4-player, 5-player, 6-player Cluedo? It's the same. You have to deal out the cards, of course, shuffle them, put 3 cards in the envelope, but you don't need to put 4 random cards. You also deal them. You also put 3 cards in the envelope to know what happened. You also give each one paper. But you have the trapper cards, which are the red ones. You shuffle them, put them at the side. And when you land on a red question mark in the board, you get one. But they're always good. For example, take a sneaky peek. You can read it. Make someone show the card. Take another turn. Bonus question, and move anywhere. They're all good. So, how do you win? When you go round everywhere, and you go around everywhere, and you have all of them crossed off, except one from each of the 3 columns. That's what happened. So now you can go in the envelope. Because the ones you have are not in the envelope. So when you have all of them crossed off, the cards in the envelope Oh, what happened? And you win the game. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on how to play Cluedo, the best board game of all time. See you guys later.
I got 99 problems, but a twerk ain't one. Hit me.